All right, so OTAs this week, I don't know what to get worked up about, but you've written some things about some of it, and everybody's talking about, I have to say, Josh
You
Doctson.
gave up on him.
I gave up
I
on him.
told you not to give up on
Yeah.
him.
Gave up on him 100%.
I was
but
Team Josh.
prove me wrong.
He
Why?
still hasn't done anything.
Yeah,
he looked
but
good at the OTA.
He was the talk of the OTA, wasn't he, Brian?
He was, and maybe that's a low bar, guys, because it was just because he was on the field running around. But, yeah, I wrote about it for thefandc.com. People can check out the post I put up yesterday, I think. We talked to him for a little bit. Look, the injury he had is still makes no sense. It's still mysterious. He had essentially Achilles tendonitis in his left Achilles, and, when he got back on the field, he kind of overcompensated. It spread to his right Achilles. We all know it ruined his rookie season. But he stayed off it December, January, February. He did a lot of pool exercises, just tried to just not run, not do anything that would cause that soreness to linger that had been around really since last May. This is the time last year when he was hurt. So, he did all that, and it worked. In March, he was able to go down to a kind of a little mini camp in Tampa with John Gruden and Kirk Cousins and Jordan Reed and some other teammates, made it through that okay, made it through April, not much pain. He said he did a lot of chiropractor work. He had like misaligned hips or something, which I don't know the technical reasons for all that, but he said that the chiropractic stuff seemed to take pressure off the rest of his body as well. And now he feels good. Now he's running around making plays and kind of looking like a first-round pick. That's a huge deal. The Redskins
is there a chance
need him to step in.
I mean, this is probably a huge leap. Is there a chance this passing offense can be more prolific than it was last year, even though they lost to stud vets?
I've thought about that, Jason. I've thought about that. I'll say no, just because you lost 2,000-yard receivers, and we know Terrell Pryor came in. That's great. We know Doctson at least has the talent to come in and make an impact here in his second year, but essentially what's going to be his rookie season. Jamison Crowder can take a leap forward. He's obviously been great since they drafted him. I think they did well enough if it's even close. The fact that you're even asking that question means the Redskins did a pretty good job in the offseason of salvaging what could have been a disaster. Let's be honest. Any team they're the first team in history to lose 2 1,000-yard receivers. So the fact that you're even asking, can they be close to as good or as good, that means I think they kind of won the day, and that's not something I thought would have been possible in February.
All right, so you also you tweeted about and wrote about Trent Murphy and his suspension, 4-game suspension for the performance enhancer thing, and he called it gut-wrenching. Here's the thing I don't understand. It just irritates the hell out of me. How's it gut-wrenching? I mean, is he one of these guys claiming tainted supplement?
Yep, he is. He is, so believe it. I'm always careful with that stuff because it's the player's word against. There's no way for me to prove it or any other reporter really to prove that that's not what happened. So take him at his word. Here's the thing, though. It's his contract year. The people he needs to convince are the execs around the league, the people in-house. It's one thing for him to tell us that, and we can believe it or not. You can choose to believe it or not. But the people who matter are the people that want to know if his 9 sacks last year are just a fluke or, the result of substances he shouldn't have been taking or a legitimate breakthrough. So he's got 4 weeks off, really 5, because week 5 is the bye week. So he's going to come back for week 6 against the Niners, and he's going to have 12 games to kind of prove last year wasn't a fluke, and he had a legitimate breakthrough and is ready to be a kind of a key contributor going forward and deserves a new contract with this team.
Let me ask you this, and this is a crude way of sort of looking at it, but how does he look? Remember he went through all the different, they were going to put him on the line, and then he went back to linebacker, and he lost weight and everything.
Yeah.
But he looked, like a beat. Does he look the same? Does he look different? Is there like a Barry Bonds transformation here that we're seeing?
No, I mean he looks about the same, guys. I think he's even a little heavier than he was listed last year at camp when he was switching.
Right.
Originally, remember, he was switching to defensive line, and then obviously they had all the all the injuries, he had to switch back to outside linebacker. He's listed about 290. He looks about 290, maybe a little bit lighter. So not much different than last year when he was, noticeably had put on all that weight. It's about the same to me, and we'll see how he plays. His problem, guys, is, does someone kind of push him out of the rotation early? Look, Preston Smith now is going to get a ton of reps. Ryan Anderson, they drafted. Junior Gillette was already doing team drills. That's not something he was doing at this time last year as he was recovering from his Achilles. I think the Redskins were kind of shocked by that or surprised a little bit. Jay Gruden had said, I think last week, that Junior would not do team drills for a while and they'd take it slow. Well, he's back out there too. So now all of a sudden, a position that was really thin, Trent's facing a bunch of guys who could be taking his snaps by the time he gets back in week 6.